All right, you guys, so we're going to talk real quick about what happens when you actually start to find balance in your handstand, right? So it's super exciting in those moments when you pop up into your handstand and you don't really expect to find balance and like, oh my God, there you are, and you're not coming down. Celebrate that for sure. And what you can do when you start to actually be able to stay there, it starts becoming pretty consistent that you're having like a few seconds in your handstand. Practice holding it for as long as you can. Right? Don't come down even if you're there for 30 seconds. Like, awesome. Hold that. And what happens is when you actually find your balance, chances are, like, you're in your handstand, you're doing it, right? And that's great. And chances are it can be your alignment, your posture can be refined a little. So what I mean by that is a lot of times when we come up, it's sort of just like we come up and we're standing like normally. And a lot of people stand and they're kind of like this. And if you think about someone's Tadasana, right, you're standing here. And if I were to really engage my Tadasana, I would push the ground away with my feet, lengthen up through the top of my head, and get longer through my lower back, right? So do you see the difference between like this posture, my normal, not really thinking about it posture, and then this longer, more engaged posture? So we'll do the same thing in our handstand, right? So once you have your balance, your hands are up here. Tendency is that you're probably going to be a little, just not super long in your low back. You'll be long, right? But a little bit, maybe even banana backy, not necessarily. And then from here, you'll want to really push the ground away from you. It's almost like you have to take your chest back a little bit so that you line up your hands, your shoulders, your hips, and your feet. Easier said than done, of course. My biggest tip for this is to simply, instead of just being on your hands, and it seems obvious, like obviously you're pushing the ground if your hands are the only thing on the ground, but sometimes it's not necessarily like you're not pushing the ground, it's just holding you up. So the difference between having the ground hold you up and then pushing the ground away is big. Okay, do you see that? So here the ground's just holding me up, here I'm pushing the ground away. So we'll do the same thing in our handstand. And I wanted to explain this on the ground because I'm not going to be able to say all this upside down. Chances are your chest is going to be, obviously I'm exaggerating, it's going to be forward a little bit, and it's almost like as you push the ground away, you want to take your chest towards the back of your mat. So I'll demo right now, and I'll try to show you the difference in a handstand. We'll see if it happens. So here we go. So here, the ground is holding me up, and here, I'm pushing the ground away and engaging my handstand. Okay, here it's holding me up, here, I'm pushing the ground away. Lost my balance there, but hopefully you guys can see the difference between the two. It's subtle, and you have to be able to have balance here. So again, this isn't necessary to work on until you can hold your handstand for about 10 to 20 seconds pretty consistently. So it comes a little later. So if you're not quite there yet, you can always practice this against the wall, the difference, just so you can feel it. And otherwise, just keep working on finding those moments of flight and celebrating the time that you're spending there. And don't worry, as long as your body feels good and you are engaging, it's okay if you're not finding the perfect alignment just yet, because you can't find perfect alignment in an arm balance unless you're actually balancing in it, right? So don't get too caught up about it, but definitely once you find hang time, start to work on that action of pushing the ground away even more.